Overland Park CrossFit, welcome to another Fitness Friday video. This week we are talking about those big old wood things that have been on the wall for almost 2 years now, year and a half, almost 2 years now. The pegboard. This one you probably have looked at and thought about playing with a few times, but have maybe been a little bit scared. Today we're going to address some of those comfort points, if you will, to make you feel a little bit more comfortable up there and giving this a shot, even if it's just going up one hole and coming back down. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about in the future some efficiency tips, not sure when yet, but somewhere down the road we'll talk efficiency tips to help you get up that wall a little bit more efficiently, have a little bit better time. But today we are just going to talk about feeling comfortable up on this wall and being able to get a better idea and a better understanding of how to start thinking about getting up into a full pegboard descent. So first things first, on these pegs, can feel very unstable when you just pull them out of the wall, super easy, but the first thing we're going to address today is feeling stable with those pegs in the pegboard. Anytime that you are on the pegboard, if you have downward pressure on that peg, I promise you that thing will not come out of the wall. So, to show you, I'm going to take those pegs. My feet are going to come off the floor. Let's go higher than that. So, if I pull down on those pegs, I'm now pulling down, and I take my full weight off, I can just hang here. Nothing's happening. I can even try and pull a peg out. My feet are back on the floor now, and I am actively trying to rip a peg out. But as long as I'm pulling down, that thing is not coming out. The only time that that peg comes out is if we put a little bit, and even just the slightest amount of upward pressure is going to pull that peg out. So pull down, you're going to stay stable. Guarantee it, that peg will not come out of the pegboard. The second that you press up just a little bit, that thing will slide out nice and easy. Make it easy for you to get into that next hole. On the grip, to make that a little bit easier, similar to the pull-up bar where we talk about hanging over the top, you're going to do the same thing on these pegs to where that peg is more in the meat of my hand. So instead of holding that peg in my fingertips like so, I'm going to hold it around that nice meaty part of that first callus, if you will. So that's going to be my hold point. From there, what I want to talk about is similar to climbing up, like bouldering, like rock climbing, stuff like that. In rock climbing, you want to keep your hips nice and close to that wall, keep everything as tight to that boulder, that space that you're trying to climb. On the pegboard, what I want you to think about is keeping those hips away and pushing out. So I still have that downward pressure, not going anywhere, but my hips are pushing away from the wall, giving me a little bit more space, and also helping me to increase that downward and back pressure so that I feel comfortable in those points. If you have questions about either of those, feel free to ask me at any point in time during any class. But what I would suggest is just feeling that comfort, whether that be looking out and just hanging here, making sure that that holds my weight. I still have my feet right close to the floor, so I feel safe, I feel comfortable, and I can also do it facing this way, and then you can play around with just pulling up just a little bit, getting off that, and feeling how different and how subtle that changes from down to slightly upward pressure. If you guys have any questions, please ask me. Please ask me. I would love to work with you on this. But with that, down the road, we will talk about getting up the pegboard, feeling comfortable there. But you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you next week.